Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Let me know if anything's weird with my mic. I cranked it up. That's all I did. Like normal volume up, not like crazy settings up. Okay. Thank you all for the resubs. It's a lot because I think what last stream was 21 days ago is what it told me. So if I'm just not gonna read them all out because everyone's gonna get their resub in because it's been 21 days of not doing that on stream. So thanks, appreciate it. But especially the tier 3s. You have paid to be better than everyone else, and never forget that. Never forget. Thank you especially. I am congested. I did so well. I did so well, and I didn't get sick once until literally today. I woke up today, and my nose was like, you know, and my stomach hurt. I am doing like okay right now, but for the first like couple of hours when I was awake, especially, oh man, but doing better right now. But yeah, curse of live stream definitely hit me, man. Ooh, thank you for the tip, Taka. Thank you for the tip. Appreciate it. Chat looks great. Yeah, this is the chat box that I got, the custom one that I got with my 3.0, and Sigma who made it went through and made one that should break less because it was breaking a lot just because there were so many messages and alerts coming through. And he was like, let me make that better because it was like really breaking, so I wasn't using it for a bit. It should be better. I think on gaming screens I'll still use the normal compact one, but we'll see. Maybe not. I don't know. Thank you for the gifted. Yeah, please give me subs. Not streaming means I don't really make money. So I was like, yeah, I'll throw away a month of income. Woo! Not like easily, but I was like, I have to though. Give me subs, yay! I will eat them all. God, my nose is still like, ugh. At some point, I'm gonna. I got one of those kettles, one of those, and not the type electric kettle that you pick up and pour, but one of those ones where it just dispenses boiling water with a little button. I've got that now. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I just drink hot water because it's good for you to do. It's good for vocal everything. So at some point I might go over there and just grab that for myself. Everyone is always like, oh, drink tea, drink tea. Tea is a diuretic, though. It's actually not the best for voice, if it's like a caffeinated one especially. It's the warmth that usually makes it good, not the fact that it is tea. Just drink hot water, man. That's the way to go. I don't like to do lemon in it because acidity kills me. Kills me. Anyway, hot water good. Hot water good, and if you can get one of those things, oh man, it's so good. So nice to have. Anyway, drink chicken broth. I mean, if you're just trying to like have something warm that isn't hot water, I guess so. Just do warm water, dude. It's like saying I need vitamin A, so I'm gonna eat some vegetables that have vitamin A, but you could also just take a pill with vitamin A in it, right? That's what I'm saying with the hot water. Right? Like if you only need vitamin A, okay, well then, you know, fuck the other stuff. Just take a damn vitamin, dude. Anyway, but I'm feeling a little better, so it shouldn't be like super sick or anything like that. I have a list of updates. Woo! There wasn't a Discord announcement for going live? There was. You fucking idiot, stupid idiot. You fool. There was. But you may not have noticed. You may not have noticed. And here's why. Here's why. Because I rearranged the Discord's guts. I don't know if you guys saw. Yeah, we added some new channels and moved some things around. So, we've got a few things in there. We've got a few things in there. Announcements is now just an announcements channel outside of pinging when I'm live. Because I feel like every time I post an announcement that is talking about something, oh, hey, we're releasing this thing, oh, I made this change, whatever, it just gets pushed up by the live pings, which usually has the embed for when I'm live, and it's like really huge. It's like a huge square in that chat. Batten, thank you. And it's, you know, it pushes everything out of the way, and then you miss the announcements. So I wanted to leave that announcements channel as announcements, and then I added live pings. Live pings. So there's a chat for pinging when I'm live specifically. I'll still use the ping role, so if you had that role on, you will still get pinged by the same thing, just in a different chat. And if you're someone who likes to turn on chat notifications instead of just the role or whatever, you can just do it for that chat. It makes it easy for whatever configuration you like. So I changed that around. There are other new chats, but more so rather than adding a lot, I more so just kind of, we actually got rid of some. And I rearranged a bunch of them so that they make more sense, I think. We added a merch channel, so if you want to show off merch that you got, show yourself wearing merch in some location and be like, look, I wore it to the zoo, or whatever you did. You could do that. And then one thing that was highly requested was a separate category for GTA stuff, so it's easier to separate out. And then adding some channels relating to that, but also keeping them in a spot where anyone who's not into that can like easily just collapse it. So that's all quarantined and all that differently now, instead of it just being one chat. And yeah, there are other changes. But I think the big one, I've actually been lurking and watching the esports chat a lot. We added esports because a lot of you guys watch FGC tournaments. A lot of you watch, like, some of you still watch LCS, things like that, right? And would talk about it in gaming, and then people would be like, do you guys like this game? And then in the middle of it, people are just spamming about Worlds, right? Like, you know, I wanted to give it its own spot so you can kind of have a better chat to live talk about it and not push out the general gaming discussion or whatever's going on. So, yeah. So you guys have a spot for that. Yay. That's pretty much it. There were other changes made, but you can just look through the Discord to see them. They're pretty explanatory, and I feel like the layout makes a lot more sense now. Makes a lot more sense. But yeah, so that's all good. I have other updates. RIP, game dev, and special interests. Yeah, I killed them because they were redundant with other stuff. The people that were posting in game dev, it was just a couple of people posting about the same projects. It was literally like 3 people. So I was like, well, they can just put this in programming. And then special interests, people already posted stuff like that, but in off topic. So again, it was like the same chat twice, essentially, you know? So I was like, well, that could just go into off topic. So yeah, I killed off the chats because they were just kind of redundant. Like, there was already a space to do it for each of those things. And then only certain people would use the ultra specific chat, and everyone else would go to the more generalized chat for it. So, you know, makes it easy, man. Makes it easy. Anyway, we can go here. But yeah, that should be all good. So that, everything in there should be self-explanatory. All the changes should be easy. We did a lot with categories and things, so it's easy to go through. Because I just like things to be organized. I don't know. I feel like when we add channels here and there, we add one every now and then, it like slowly makes things a little more confusing. So every now and then it needs like a full cleanup. So we did the full cleanup. Wahoo. And then what else? We updated some rules. Oh, I got rid of, we used to have a rule in the Discord that you couldn't dox yourself at all. Like, you couldn't even take a picture with your face in it. And we did this because when things started out, we weren't 100% sure that, like, it was clear that the Discord was 18 plus, all these sorts of things, right? Nowadays, this was years ago, so the Discord rule sets and the way things work now, you have to go through a couple gates, you know, to like, say, like, you have to press OK, like, yes, I am 18, all those things. So there's really no point in having that rule anymore. And a lot of people want to post things. We have like a really active health and fitness and exercise community. We have a chat for health and exercise in there. And a lot of people like to post updates, right? And I want you to be able to be like, here's my gains, and not have to slap an emoji over your face every time if you don't care, you know? So now they have better tools for me to, like, you know, at least not necessarily vet that people are 18 plus, but make them agree and say that they are. So I don't really care to have that rule anymore. But just don't post to other people if they are in a picture with you and they didn't say, like, oh yeah, it's fine, you know? But yeah, totally fine to post yourself. I want to make sure that was repealed. So that has been repealed. But there you go. That's really it. I mean, nothing crazy with community changes. We just rearranged the Discord a little bit so that it makes more sense. I was spending a lot of time going through and lurking and using various channels in various ways and kind of deciding how I wanted to do that. So this last week we did that. Okay, on top of that, I'll give, like, the standard updates before we just hang out and chat. I have 2 new models, like, the models themselves completely done. Completely done. I was working a lot on getting that shit together. Obviously, I'm not going to release them immediately because you have to do other stuff. There's so much other stuff to do around that is being worked on, and I've been working on a lot of it. But yeah, the models themselves are done, which is great because I can make stuff with them. At least I can use them on the back end before I show them. And yeah. So I'm working on all the other stuff around that comes with that, and it's going along. It's going along. I have something I spent a lot of time working on, a lot of calls, everything, is a Hallmat booth. I have a booth at Hallmat. I've actually been planning this for a while. I just didn't want to announce it until certain things were, like, done. But for months I've been working on this. So I have a booth. Woo! It's going to be a me booth, but I'm adding some friends in as well. So I had already talked to Matara a while back about it. And then it was funny because I mentioned it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting a booth. And she was like, oh my God, I'm doing a booth. And then she did one at TwitchCon. I was like, oh, we keep doing the same thing at the same time. It's just funny. But yeah, so she is going to have me involved in another booth she's doing beforehand. And then I'm going to have her involved in my booth that I'm doing in Hallmat. And then anyone else that I speak to on the back end, there will be other people involved as well, which will be nice. It will be nice. So Holiday Matsuri is what that is. It's in December. It's in Florida. Let me get the dates. I think it's the weekend before Christmas. Orlando, December 19th through 21st. 19th through 21st. Florida. Yeah, it's always like right before Christmas, which is why it's called Holiday Matsuri. It's because it's right before it. So yeah, I know a lot of you guys do go. I was trying to figure out which conventions to think about doing booths at, and I didn't really want to do one at any of, like, the huge cons, not yet. But there are some that are pretty large that you guys go to, and a lot of you last year went to Hallmat, so I was like, okay, we'll do Hallmat. And they're really nice to me. They're really good to me, the staff and everything. I like working with them, so it'll be good. So I've got that going on. What else? What other stuff? Oh, I'm gonna do a movie night Halloween this Friday in the Discord. We do this like every Halloween. I make them play something for movie night. But yeah, we're gonna do a Halloween movie night. And then This Sunday, I'm on the same, we're back to the same stream schedule. I didn't change my schedule or anything when coming back, but I'm going to do a media share. So get your best ready. I want to be very clear. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. Okay? A media share means you're putting yourself out there when you share something, all right? If you send a link and you're like, this is so funny, boss, and then I'm like, that was shit, and you get upset, I don't care, okay? I just want to make that so clear. I was watching another friend's media share within the last couple of weeks, and they someone sent like a video that usually it's just sharing stuff. It's not all stuff that you make yourself, but someone shared something that they made themselves, and then the streamer skipped it because they watched the beginning and it was like dragging along. The pacing wasn't good. The editing should have paced better, right? And so they were like, yeah, we're not watching this on stream, and they skipped it, and the person got really upset, and I was like, brother. Okay, you know? Like, dude, you're putting yourself out there, okay? Just know that. But yeah, we're gonna do that Sunday. We're gonna do that Sunday. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll give suggestion guidelines and stuff like that later, but I don't really want to do crazy guidelines. Nothing insane. But yeah, if your video isn't funny or if I'm not interested within the first few seconds and I want to skip it and you're like, the good part's 2 minutes in, just wait. I don't care. I'm not putting everyone else through that. All right, we're skipping. We're going to do media share this Sunday. I'll do some offerings. There are a lot that have built up with you guys posting offerings in the Discord. That's not something I'm going to do all on Sunday. We're going to do some, and then we'll do some more the next Sunday, and we're going to go bit by bit because, you know, that's a lot. What else? Oh, tomorrow I'm playing some stuff, but we have a collab at some point tomorrow. It's RV There Yet, which I haven't played at all. New friend swap, but I didn't get to play it because I wasn't around. That's tomorrow with Ama, Sayu, and Saikuno. Woo! Woo! It's gonna be a cooked group. It's gonna be cooked. Oh yeah, last thing. I have 2 new major sponsors that I'll talk about soon. Not yet. Soon. Major sponsors meaning it's not like a sponsored game. It's like a something else. You know, like I got soap, things like that. I've got 2 new ones that I've been working on for a long time. I'm very relieved because I've been wanting both of these for a long time. Very long time. One of them is a PC sponsor. I did have an old one that I was working with, a different company that fell through, but it took like an entire year to figure out that it was falling through. Until they finally were like, oh, actually, we're doing this thing and something. And I was like, well, I've been talking about this for a year, you know? So I kept shopping around and kind of looking for a good one because I really wanted a PC company sponsor and everything. And I found one that I really like. I really like the team. I like that they're professional. They're very professional, and from the outside, they're going to look kind of corpa, but when I talk to them and discuss how they work and how they do things, they're not like too corpa, you know? Very, very professional in operations, but they're really good at not just giving you a standard package and slapping your face on it. You know what I mean? I really don't like sponsorships where everyone gets the exact same thing. Nothing's personalized about it. They slap your face on it. Here's a code. That's it. And there's no like back and forth working together on anything, you know? It doesn't even need to be a special project. I just like some back and forth in them wanting to know what I want out of this. I tell them what I want out of it, and then we just kind of like discuss nicely, you know? So this company is really like, really good at that, really good at working with me on cool shit. So that'll be nice. That'll be nice. I'm excited to work with them. And then the other one is one that I've been meaning to do for a long while as well, but I just couldn't. And I finally can soon. Yay. That's really it. That's the TLDR. Yeah, that's it. That's all my updates. Woo! Yeah, I think that's all of it. I'm like checking through little lists. Did I miss anything? Oh, I didn't write it down, but I have it on the top of my head. Friday, should be Friday. It was Saturday, and I think it got moved to Friday. I gotta check the date. We're doing Girls FC collab. We're doing that. I gotta check the schedule. It should be Friday. Yeah, initially we were doing Saturday, and then we had to move it, which is fine. So yeah, we're doing that soon. Woo! I've been like asking, and finally we're doing a thing. Thank God. It's so hard to find games where you can play with 5 people, though. I hate it because a lot of the time we'll play something with 4 people and we'll swap people out, and I'm like, man, this sucks. So I'm glad. I'm glad. Yay. You said you're mad you missed the Chainsaw Man cheeky drop. Oh, dude, I just got it sent to me. I just got the box. The box is so luxurious. Like, not talking about just the soap in it, but the packaging for it is so luxurious. It has this little magnetic clasp, right? So when you close it, it goes like thwack, thwack, and it right? When it closes, oh, it's so good. They all smell nice. They all smell really nice. That shit sold out in like a day. It sold out really fast. Actually, thank you guys. I want to mention the Cheeky team told me that my creator code was like one of the only creator codes that was used by people to get that drop. Because I actually talk about things that they do. And I'm like, guys, there's a drop coming up of a cool thing. If you want it, don't forget, right? Other people are shit at this. And like no other creator codes got used. And I was like, man, why are people so bad at this? No offense, but you know, they're so bad at it, dude. Anyway, GEEGA for Cheeky Ambassador. I'm literally a Cheeky Ambassador. I was the first one. I was the first person they sponsored, dude. But yeah, so I'm their #1 warrior. But there you go. Is your code still valid? I always have a code. My code is always valid to use on their site, always, because I am in deep with the soap company on working on cool shit. And we're working on a lot of cool shit. I'm excited. I'm excited. But yeah, the box was really cool. And they're like, that's the thing, is they want to do a lot of stuff like that, like working with brands to do drops. And I'm excited, man. I don't know. I'm just glad. I'm just glad. Yeah, maybe we'll do Gope. I'm not going to call it Gope. We're definitely not calling a Giga Soap Gope. No fucking way. No fucking way. Absolutely not. Anyway, but that's all going well. That's all going well. So we got a lot of cool soap stuff coming up, actually. I'm really glad, you know, at first I was like, is it weird for me, a streamer, to take a soap sponsorship? But then I was like, no, because people watch me. And people use soap. You know what I mean? It's like perfectly consumable, you know? So I was like, it's actually not weird. I think it's better than something that you don't really buy often. At least this is something you have to repeatedly buy, you know? So I was like, okay, no, this actually makes more sense than other stuff. It just isn't like I'm not a beauty creator, for example, right? But I think people who are beauty creators are like shoving a million cosmetics down people's throats, and those people have too much. But then like a gaming audience, a Twitch audience, people just want to buy like one good soap and not think hard about it. They're like, give me a soap that smells nice, and that's it. So it actually worked out really well. It worked out really well. I don't know. I'm glad people like it because I love soap. I like scented things, but lightly scented things. So I'm really into like a scented soap and not like I hate perfumes. I'm going to be so real with you. I hate like spraying body spray to smell nice. I like the soap bar to smell nice. And then you smell just lightly like something. You know what I mean? So then when a soap company came through, I was like, you know what? This might be the one. This might be the one. So anyway, we are the best smelling community here, officially. Officially. Ta-da. Perfume bad. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be. I'm just not into it. If it's like super light, I think it's okay. But when I see people pulling up a little bottle and spraying themselves, I'm like, dude, I can't. It's too much. I'm good. A VTuber selling beauty products would be kind of weird. Yeah, people want to know that you've tested it yourself. And something like soap, a verbal testimony being like, yeah, feels really nice, smells really good, is fine. But when it's like makeup that you have to put on your face, people want to see the example, right? There's nothing to see with the soap, but with like makeup, they want to see it, right? So yeah, it would make no sense if it were that. But something like this, though, makes sense to me. Anyway, new stuff coming soon with the soap, with the other companies, with all this stuff that I'm doing. We got a whole bunch of new shit on the way, and I was able to get so much headway done the past couple of weeks, which was, thank God. I had so much stuff pending. So much stuff pending, man. You said TwitchCon as a whole didn't actually smell that bad. Very neutral, wasn't offended. Geegoid smelled great, though. That's what I'm saying. And I want to, oh man, you know, I tweeted about this. I wanted to mention that a lot of creators messaged me throughout that weekend saying specifically that, like, my community was there. They showed up. They were together. They were wearing the merch. They were hanging out. So people could, like, see that it's them. They were helping people out. They fed some people. So people got fed and they remembered it as this community, not like that one guy, because a few people together were feeding people. They were... When Matara's booth needed to be broken down, a bunch of them went and broke down the booth for her and with a couple of her staff and helped load up the truck and everything. And she was like, she sent me a voice note, very emotional, by the way, a very emotional voice note. She was like, I just want you to know that they helped us out and they were helping even load the truck and, you know, so it was nice. You said actual cult. Hey, if it's a cult that just like helps people out, I don't really think that's so bad, right? But yeah, we got the emotional Matara voice note. It was funny. Oh, did you hear Nucky speaking? I don't know if you heard him just now. Nuck. Oh, here, talk to them. Nucky. Oh, yeah. There you go. Meow. He's as loud as ever. He was complaining at the door. It wasn't closed at all, but like it was like air closed. Like there was no big gap, right? So he had to push it open. He doesn't want to push it open. That's a big deal. That's a lot of effort for him. So he was just sitting there complaining at the door. Yeah, he wanted me to open it. And he finally got frustrated enough to break in. So here he is. Here he is. When you said at least something good came out of that con. Dude, okay, I want to talk about my break and what that was like. Outside of getting work done that I needed to get done, and doing like IRL stuff that I really needed to do, I got the viewer experience, right? So I got to not be a streamer for like 3 weeks. Not really doing content, doing other work, you know? Watching things, interacting on social media and on whatever sites as a viewer. And I feel like everything went to shit. At the same time, people are whining so much. I think they're totally valid about some things, but my God, they're whining about some other shit that I'm like, this doesn't... I know it's not the suffering Olympics, but this stuff pales in comparison to some other things. And I genuinely was like, I hate this. I would open Twitter and I'd be like, I don't like this, and I would just close it. I would open Twitch and I'd be like, what's this chatting streamer talking about? And they're like, the TwitchCon situation. I'd close it. I open YouTube. So TwitchCon happened. Close it. I was like, holy fuck, people are so annoying. They're not wrong. They're not wrong at all. I'm not disagreeing with people even. It's just, yeah, it's like the news, like where you can't escape it. That was the thing. I don't dislike what people were saying and the fact that they were talking, because it's a platform, you can talk, right? But I, in the viewer seat, was like, wow, I'm so tired of this. Like, I wanna, when it's time for me to seek it out, go seek it out, learn what happened. Okay, close it. Time to go back to my regularly scheduled stuff that I look up or I'm seeing on my feed because I just want to be entertained, right? I want to open various sites and I want to have a good time. That's all I want. But instead, I was opening all these sites and it was nothing but everyone else complaining and I was having a bad time. And I was like, holy, I don't care. You know? I care about the brass tacks of these things. I care about the core issues and those things changing, whatever. But I was like, I don't care to be inundated. Like, I've already heard about it. I already have formulated my opinion. I don't need to hear about it 20 times after I've done that. You know what I mean? So I was just like, wow, this is so annoying. This is so annoying. But again, I think it's important to talk about these things at the same time, so I wouldn't tell people don't talk about it. I think it's just the way these sites are formatted, the way the UX is, they've made it like really impossible to escape a lot of this stuff. So I'm like, dude, ugh. Ugh. LVTubers drama. That one actually totally escaped me. I saw someone like vague tweet about that and I was like, what's that about anyway? And none of it that actually was real like showed up on my timeline. So that one I escaped. I think it's just my feed. I think it's because people that complain about stuff that's like very niche in the VTubing community, I always mute. Because it's stuff that I'm just like, I can't. It's not big picture stuff usually, you know? If it is, it'll make its way to me, but usually it's not. So, yeah, that stuff I don't know what happened either. Did something even happen or was someone just complaining and then everyone was like, it's time for my soapbox? I think it was probably that. Because if it was like a really big incident, like something crazy actually happened with the whole like people complaining about male VTubers, whatever thing, then I think I would have heard about it. But I think it was literally just like time to complain in a circle again. That's what it sounded like. So I feel like we like every 6 months this comes up. So I was like, okay. Oh, it stemmed from a male streamer. Water is wet, dude. Not to downplay it, but I want to say this about every single bit of streamer and VTuber drama that's come up in the last like month. I want to say this right now. These all read to me as water is wet situations because I feel like we already knew a lot of this. Maybe some of you don't. I don't know. Maybe some people, I guess it's more shocking when someone is like coming off as a really, really great person and then you find out they're not great, I guess. But I feel like a lot of the people that have been outed as not great in all the streamer drama, whatever, I thought we knew this. So this is what happens is this is what this means to me. We already did know this, but people don't want to speak out negatively against others, even if they should, or maybe there's no should, even if they feel like they should. I don't know. They don't want to, but they're waiting for a moment to do it without feeling like an asshole or getting any backlash. Everyone wants to do it, but they won't do it until like 80% of everyone else is also doing it. And then they all start dunking, and then that's when you get times on the internet where you're like, holy fuck, I wish to escape this news. I already know about it. We're on circle 20 of the same conversation, right? And then there are a lot of people that have no real thoughts about it. They just want to shit on somebody. So they just wait. There are a lot of people that lurk on the internet, looking around, waiting for someone to shit on. And then whatever wave is happening, they ride that wave every time. There's so many accounts that I've seen the past couple of weeks that are just that. They just literally sit there. Yeah, they're waiting for the I knew it moment, or they're waiting for the, oh, finally I could be a hater towards someone I don't know and don't really watch their content, never really cared about anyway. You know, there's a lot of that. And I was like, wow, that's annoying. Can you all just like go play video games again? Like, where's the fun content? I think it's totally fine to address this stuff. Like, everyone giving like an hour of chatting at most in their week to talk about it. If they're a streamer too, fine. But if they're not directly involved, when they're talking about it like 20 times, like every stream in a row, I'm like, brother, what are you doing? Go play video games and have a good time with your chat. And I think I saw so much of it because normally I'm streaming, okay? So typically I'm streaming, so I spend less time looking at Twitter and watching YouTube videos and like just seeing people talking about things. So I always feel way more disconnected from it. But then being a viewer, I was like, wow, it's everywhere. Holy shit, you know? Like normally I get to be, you know, separate and away from it because we talk about whatever here, but we spend most of our time talking about normal stuff, IRL stuff, not streamer drama. Like we touch on it a little and that's it. Or we're playing video games, you know? So yeah, being on break, I was like on the other side of it and wow, that was annoying. Holy. You're saying only unemployed people care about this? Pretty much. Not only. And again, there are some situations where there's something really true and real to be talking about. Right? Like the whole Emiru thing, I think is a great topic and people should talk about how they feel on it. I'll say right now, real simple, my thoughts are, hey, shit's unsafe. I don't think anyone should go to that con if they don't feel safe. That was handled so poorly, everyone should be outraged. Right? That one's like, sure. That makes sense. I too am a female streamer. You know what I mean? That absolutely. There's other stuff where I'm like, why is everyone commenting on this? That one though, yeah, that's bad. That's bad. You know? I don't know. What? I don't need to catch you up if you aren't caught up on it because there are 1,000 videos of people farming it. This is the thing that bothers me too, is someone's very real awful situation, someone's very real, non-dramatic, like real unsafe situation is everyone else's drama, which is so annoying. So annoying. I feel like that's how I felt with like all the VShojo implosion and everything. That was like my real situation I was going through along with the other members and staff. And then it was like everyone else's drama to farm. Holy shit, that's annoying. It's just their content, right? So I'll be sitting there like updating my community on things because I'm like, hey, you guys watch me. I was part of this. You're tangentially, you know, related in a way. So I'll update you. But then it's getting like clipped farmed like fuck by other people because it's their content. I'm like, holy, you know, and I feel like that's what was happening in this situation too. Everyone's talking about all like trauma around it, but really they should just be like, hello, I am a streamer and here are my thoughts toward the platform and what they need to do, you know? I don't know. Yeah, right. People monetizing misfortune. Exactly. Oh, yeah. I like what you said, Private Jet. I saw this too. You said Chris Broad's latest Japan video, I think, applies to a lot more than just Japan content. Rage bait. I think it ties right into what you're saying. Yeah, the TLDR is... Right, his video is a good allegory for what I think happens everywhere. He was just focusing on that because that's his content sphere, is Japan content, right? The TLDR is... I don't think people are always actively rage baiting. Everyone's passively rage baiting. And I felt that on this break really heavily. Real situations happen. They are seen and they're happening in real time because everyone's streamers, you know, in the sphere. And they are talking about their feelings on it, especially if directly related. And then everyone unrelated starts getting on their soapboxes and giving their 2 cents, like their words are like important to a larger audience. Their words are important to people that know them. Everyone has their own little soapbox sphere, right? When you have something to say, there are people that should hear it. But everyone gets up there and is like, my opinion is so important in this reply, and blah, blah, blah. And they're all trying to dunk on people. They're all trying to farm something. They want likes or whatever. You know, there's just like a lot of other ulterior shit in there. And yeah, everything gets in shitified. Right? Everything gets in shitified. And I don't know, just kind of like not being a streamer for a bit and just watching everything, I was like, this is so much. This is so much. Yeah, nothing wrong with people giving opinions, but it's the way they do it, the amount that they do it, the amount of feelings they have toward it when people don't treat their opinion as super important or gospel or something. I'm like, oh, God. I don't know. So again, I'll talk about stuff that like has to do with me tangentially or especially directly. But that's it. That's it. Or if something happens and it has nothing to do with me, but it brings up a bigger conversation, that's what we usually do. We're like, how does this apply to the bigger conversation, right? But then we'll talk about that, because that might actually be related to us or me or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. I felt very overwhelmed just being a viewer, right? I felt really overwhelmed, and I was like, wow, this is how everyone probably feels, you know, when they're just trying to like follow streamers because they enjoy that style of content, but then a thing happens, it just becomes only about that thing. So it's rough, man. It's rough. He said, I don't even know if the frequency has increased or if the algo is just promoting that content more. I think it's a bit of both. I think the algo definitely on like every site, but especially Twitter and YouTube, promotes that kind of stuff more. But I don't think it's the algo always trying to directly promote that stuff. On some sites it might be. But I think it's more so that people content farm it. And more people that had normal channels about something specific, an interest or whatever, more and more of them have started making clips or videos talking about whatever drama of the week there is. And that kind of, you know, it works. People get a lot of views from that. That becomes their livelihood. You know, like, I get why they do it. I don't like it, but I get why. And, you know, it turns into positive feedback. Now they should keep doing this. Yeah, Ludwig talking about why he stopped doing drama content was really insightful. Yeah, he's a good example, right? He was talking about, what was it? Mogul Mail, right, was the name of that channel, where it was like about other stuff, and then it turned into drama content, and that did really well. And now he's like, I am killing that channel. We're not doing that anymore, because he's tired of it. That kind of stuff. It's just, I don't know. I feel like everyone gets on this not too steep, this slow, slippery slope once they start doing that stuff, and they just slowly get worse and worse with it. And I feel like we've seen a lot of channels in the past 2-3 years especially go that route, for sure. And it's disappointing, because I feel like a lot of people initially follow a creator, especially like the early smaller community, because they just like the little thing they're doing. And then it just kind of like, you know, it gets there. It gets there. I think it's totally fine for everyone to weigh in on little things here and there. But when it's like your bread and butter, you know, I think people should reevaluate. I think you should reevaluate, for sure. And something that kind of sucks, and one of the reasons I think we're like this on the internet, is it's definitely the Wild West. There's a lot more control on like standard TV, for example, right? And obviously there's good and bad, because that means it's controlled by certain people or certain groups with their own interests. But the positive of it is when there's a TV channel, let's say you're watching TLC, there are people that sit down in a room and consider their viewers, consider their regulars, and getting new people in, and they make a content plan for their 24-hour channel schedule, and they decide what shows can be on, they decide who gets to host those shows, etc. And those networks then can also pull things off the air. If a person is running a show and they don't like what that person's saying, they could pull that person off the air. That could be really bad, but there are also a lot of situations where that's really good. Because on the internet, we don't really have a lot of that control. I think platforms should exercise it more. They tend to do, like, you know, on Twitch, for example, they do really short bans for a lot of things, where I'm like, I think they should do this a little more like TV networks, where they're like, you're off the air, boom, kick them out. You know, like, they should probably exercise that more so that they don't get a bad rap from having certain people around, etc. But, you know, the platforms are they're so slow to take action. But on TV, those networks are really fast to take action. I think that's the big difference I'm realizing. And there's good and bad with both, for sure, again. But there's a lot of, like, moderation feels really, really slow reactive on people, which we've always felt this way. I've always talked about this. But then when I look at, like, television, if someone gets on air and they're kind of down a slippery slope, and, like, they keep straying from what the show is about, right? If it's supposed to be like a show about animals and this person keeps bringing up like drama content, right, relating to this stuff, the people at the network are going to be like, hey, buddy, don't forget what this show's about. Don't make us scripted for you, you know? Right? And they keep the show being what it's supposed to be. And there's a lot of quality control. I think that's really what it is the quality control. They don't usually have to pull a person off air. They often just have to like redirect them and be like, hey, reminder, you know, this is a show about this thing. We're on Animal Planet, you know, like keep it to this. And that really helps that be the way it's supposed to be. We don't really have that on the internet. People just post whatever and people consume whatever and the algo pushes whatever based off of what is actively getting views, and there isn't really a manual like person picking videos or picking streams and being like, this is what should be pushed up here. I think occasionally there's a little personal touch, but not a lot. And you know, it's done this way because it's supposed to be the Wild West a little bit. It's supposed to be very open and free, and I think there's a lot of good with that. But now I think recently we're seeing the negatives that come about. We're seeing the opposite side of that scale tip a lot, right? And it's just interesting because both kind of formats have their big positives and their big negatives. And I don't think there is a happy medium between the two that's perfect. I think there is no perfect way to do this. Because whenever you want to control stuff more, well, who's in control? And when you want to control stuff left, well, now it's like getting out of hand and there's no control, right? So it can be really difficult. But I don't know. I just look at like Twitch, for example. I look at YouTube and I kind of compare it to how most mainstream media has been with TV and everything. And I'm like, okay, I see the good of more control on TV and the bad, right? It's just interesting. It's interesting. And yeah, there is too much content to be manually reviewed. Absolutely. Something that they could do is they could make little networks and they could pull people, let everyone keep streaming, but pull some people and put their show on a quote unquote network style thing. And there could be some curation. Yeah, there could be some curation here to maybe positively boost some others up, which we kind of get with the front page, but I don't think that's done UX wise the way it, I'm talking about. That could be done, but, you know, that requires lots of money and personnel. So, yeah, that's a nice thought, but, you know, money and personnel, always. Like ultra categories, yes. I don't know, much to think about. But for me, my focus, the thing I really realized on this break is, from the viewer perspective, I was like, man, the stuff I'm being fed actively by different algos, whatever, sucks. This content sucks all over the sites, various sites, not just Twitch, not just YouTube, not just Twitter, like all of them, right? But when you actively go and seek out content yourself and you curate it yourself, there's so much good content that does not suck, that is not being pushed to you. But there's so much out there. There's so many creators creating good things. They're not talking about the drama of the week, or they're bringing up briefly in a meta discussion and then they go into the game, whatever. There's so much of that. You just have to seek it out for yourself. So I spent, last 3 weeks curating, right? Curating and just finding good channels that I like, finding my own kind of UX, my own methods of how I want to use these sites so that I find good stuff. And that's been helping. But I think, the recommendations on everything, it's just so enshittified. At least Twitch tends to do, like, on the front page carousel, they've got a theme going on. They tend to pull up smaller creators and put them on there here and there. You get recommended things based off of just what category you watch a lot. So if you watch a lot of FPS games and FPS streamers, they'll just be like, okay, here's some more of that. And it's quite simple. And I'm appreciating that more and more. It's very simple. So if you're just like, I just want to watch people play retro games, you watch a couple retro streamers, okay, well then in your sidebar, Twitch is going to be like, people who watch this guy tend to watch this guy. And it's a really simple algo. Thank God. So, yeah, that's been nice. Yeah, unfortunately, if it's just chatting, it's a little vague. It's a little wide. But then it goes off of tags after. So if you watch me and you get recommended just chatting streamers, they might filter it down to more VTubers, things like that. You know, whatever tags you use, it does have that second round of filtering out recommendations within a category when it's huge. So just saying. Yeah, we need more corn VTubers. More corn streamers, please. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, you know, like the really simple algo where it's not trying to AI slop feed you like, you know, the most dramatic thing ever. Really appreciated at this time. Really, really, really appreciated. Do people use tags that often? When I see them use tags, it's usually for memes and shit posting. Yeah, usually people have like 3 tags that are real and then a bunch that are just funny. But you get your little stats at the end of the, you know, well, whenever you check. And your stats will tell you how many impressions and then click-throughs you get based off of certain tags. And the ones that actually get used and people actually click on, it then uses that to feed back into itself and keep recommending based off of those tags. So you're more likely to see someone with the VTuber tag get recommended to you because of me, rather than someone else using the corn tag, because it's like, well, that's not real. It kind of identifies like, that's not a recommendation thing. That's just a funny tag, right? But yeah. So just watch stuff you like. I don't know. Watch stuff you like is my TLDR. But that's what I've realized over the past couple weeks. Watch videos that you actually like. When you like a channel, keep watching it. Because watching more individual videos, individual streams from that channel will have the site that you're on understand they actually want more of this, though. And then, you know, your recommendations get a little better. They get a little better. YouTube's obsessed with recommending you videos you've already seen. Mine too, dude. Mine too. I don't know. It won't stop. It won't stop. Like, if I open it right now, it also keeps, like, recommending me shit, actually. Oh, you know what I noticed? Which was weird with YouTube recommendations. If you watch a couple of highly viewed videos, like you're in the I only watch stuff that gets recommended to me because it's got 5 million plus views sphere, then your recommendations will only be highly viewed videos for a while, which is weird. But there's like, it's decided that there's a sphere of people that only watch things that are like super highly watched. And I'm like, if I just want to watch these 2 videos that my friend sent me, my algo is nothing but that for 3 days. It's crazy. It's crazy. You wish YouTube would let you block channels. You kind of can, yeah. You could say don't recommend, but it doesn't block. I wish it let me block. I don't know. I don't know. Please, YouTube, please. Please. Yeah, you said you have the opposite. Yours keeps trying to recommend you 200 to 300 view videos. I think it's doing something where it's deciding if you're the kind of person who's like willing to give that a chance or not. And then it just keeps you in like a bracket. That's how it feels, which is kind of weird. I think I get why they do that, but I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it's all cooked. It's all cooked. So just share stuff that you like in the Discord or something. We're gonna have to start taking our recommendations off platform. Same thing, Twitch streamers. You like a Twitch streamer, you know? You're gonna have to DM it to your friends. All right? Because, yeah. I think Twitch ain't so bad, but the YouTube recommendations are like real bad. They're kind of dog shit. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. At least it recommends me videos of myself, which is cool. That's neat. So, yay, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Yay, I guess. But then it keeps recommending me ones I've already seen.
Back just in time for the spooky month faction redeems chat.
Oh, he was so quiet. I just boosted him. I don't know why he was so quiet. Thank you for the boots. Yours is full of stuff that's doomer core and you need to make it stop. I think YouTube and Twitter decide how depressed they think you are and then feed you stuff off of that. I genuinely, like, this is not even a tinfoil hat moment. I'm pretty certain they do this. If you get rage baited, you get sad baited, you get doomer baited 2 times, they're like, ooh, this person's gettable, and then they like they start recommending you fuck ton of that stuff because they're like, oh, you're likely to like see something doomer core and then reply to it and be like, yeah, man, the world's so shit nowadays, right? I think they see that behavior and they're like, ooh, got him. Yeah, not healthy, not good. Not good. So I don't like that. I don't like that. No, thank you. No, 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 thank you. Anyway. Fuck it all. I'm just gonna stream on Twitch. I'm just gonna stream on Twitch. That's my big TLDR. I will be making more YouTube videos. Oh, I have a little YouTube update. Little update. Not too much changes. So I've got I have 4 channels. I have a YouTube channel called GEEGA. Wow. And that's my main channel. That's where most of my subscribers are. And most of my views are. My highly watched videos and stuff are all there. That channel does really well. Really well. I've got multiple videos well over 100k views, 200-300. You know, doing great. But I don't really post on it super often because the goal for it was initially I wanted it to end up being a channel where I only make videos for YouTube that go on there. And then I was taking stuff that was on stream that got turned into a video and I was putting that on my second channel, GEEGA Highlights. Okay? And that has significantly less subscribers, but, you know, people still watch stuff there sometimes. But stuff where I was doing stuff on stream would get put on the Highlights channel. So the separation was stuff made for YouTube, main channel, stuff done on stream, Highlights channel. But I kind of am bothered by how much I don't post on the first channel because I don't do enough of that stuff. And I wanted to try it for a bit and be like, you know, can I pace in an okay way? And honestly, there are plenty of channels that don't upload super often. But I don't care personally. I don't mind if I dilute it a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the Highlights channel and I'm merging it back over to the main channel. So anything that would go on the second channel, GEEGA Highlights, is just going on the main channel now. Maybe some fewer videos. There's some videos on there that are like a little more throwaway, like I care less about the quality of the editing. I'm like, yeah, let's just do like one pass through and then put it up there. We'll put more effort into it if it's going on the main channel. But yeah, I'm just kind of collapsing those two together and putting it all on the main channel. Daily GEEGA, which is not GEEGA Highlights, that's the Clips channel. That's the third channel. That's staying. That one does really well. It's doing great. It's staying as it is. And the VODs channel as well, staying as it is. I'm still going to keep the Highlights channel, but I'm going to rename it to, I don't know yet, something else. Something else. And then what I'm going to do is that's going to be the dump channel. The dump channel, where someone asks a question and I just sit there and yap for 5-10 minutes on it with some gameplay in the background, you know, your Subway Surfers channel. That kind of thing. And I recorded like the fuck ton of those. But yeah, it's just where we just put whatever. I don't need name recommendations. I got like a huge list from my editing team already that I have to sift through. I still have to go through them. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, I have to go through so many. But yeah, Haste with Irrelevant Commentary channel. That's exactly what it is. Me playing a skateboarding game with completely irrelevant commentary on something else channel. Right? You know those. You know those. A lot of YouTubers have those. One of my favorites was, he doesn't post on it anymore, but I liked the Weekly Slap, which was Schlatt's one of those. It also was never weekly. That was like a fucking lie. The name is a lie. But basically, You play games throughout the week and you take footage of it and then you just hold on to it. And then you sit there and have people, like, I don't know, send in a question, or someone said something on stream that you thought was, like, good, and you're like, oh, I have some insight. You just write it down. You're like, oh, I'll film one of these later, you know, about this thing. That's what those are, and I really want one of those. So, but I felt weird making a 5th channel. I was like, all right, I'm not that much of a YouTuber. Like, you know, I mean, maybe I'm a little, but not that much. So I was like, that's kind of crazy, you know, to make a 5th one. But then when I decided to put everything from highlights, you know, change it up a little and throw it on the main channel, now I'm like, okay, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. So I will turn the highlights channel into that. Whatever I name it, it's going to be that. So if you're not already subscribed or whatever, I'm going to have to update this command whenever I rename it. There are the channels. There are the 4. Okay? The one that is currently GEEGA Highlights will turn into whatever the hell you call that. Yeah, like the old CSGO, was it? CS surfing? You know, when people be like pulling out the knife and surfing, it'd be like that. But yeah. There you go. Ta-da. You said, is this like how people do NL YouTube shorts with random Dark Souls footage taking out the bottom half of the screen? Usually he's like actually talking and playing the game together. Mine will just be gameplay footage of me. I think, you know, a lot of people film these where they talk and they record their audio and then they throw gameplay footage from another time under it, right? I think I actually want to do it at the same time, which is definitely going to make it less, it's going to be a little more disjointed, you know? Like my thoughts are not going to, I'm going to be locked in on the game. But I think I'm going to just do it anyway, straight up. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Kind of do that already sometimes. Yeah, but you know, I kind of hate when I'm talking about certain topics on stream, but I'm also playing a game. And then I feel like I can't be succinct in the way I want to be. And I can't attack that topic the way I want to attack it or come at it because I'm playing a game. my brain, like 80% of it is trying to make this game happen, you know? So that's tough too. That's really tough. And then when you start talking, sometimes you're like, now I got to pull focus onto what I'm saying. So I've got to put my brain, you know, 80% of my brain needs to be on what I'm saying. And then the gameplay goes to shit because you're talking, right? So I don't know. I got to figure it out. I'll figure it out. Whatever. It could be tough. But we'll get there. We'll get there. But that's what I'm going to do. Because, yeah, my YouTube channel does really well, actually. I was kind of, like, looking at it, and I was like, you know, overall, when I post something, you know, does it always do perfectly? No, but a lot of the time, it does really, really fucking well. So I'm going to, I just want to post on it more often. I don't need every video on that channel to do amazingly. I just want to post more and consolidate it to one spot, you know? I do like that, too. So there you go. That's what I'm doing with that. Hooray. Thank you for all the subs, guys. They're like 1 billion resubs because it's the first stream back in 21 days, allegedly. So I'm just gonna be like, thanks. And that's the best you're gonna get for right now. Because there's so many of you. There's so many. Anyway, that's all I got. Them's my updates. Any final questions? I want a game today. I've got 2 games I want to play. I want to play, I feel like there's so much that I missed while I was on break. I'm not going to go back to everything, but...
Great to have you back.
Thanks. Megabonk? Fuck no. We're not going to stream Megabonk. Old news. Old news. Okay. We're past that, dude. Am I still going to play it on the side? Yeah. I'm going to play it on stream? Nah. Nah. Oh, Zort yesterday was so good. Holy. Been hooked with Ball Pit. Ball Pit looks great. It does look great. I've been playing Pokemon. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon. I've been sitting in VC with friends, and we've played a disgusting number of hours of Pokemon. Disgusting. They played a lot more than me because I'm usually like co-working in there, you know. But I'll kind of go back and forth. It's great. Hades 2 is funny. I watched you play the other day. I love Hades 2. Yeah, I've been in the VC playing Hades 2 in front of friends. I've been doing that. How about the game where you're just an unmoving rock? You can't get me with that one, dude. You can't get me to spend my money on that. A dev shows up and they don't even make a game that does anything. They're like, I made a funny joke game that you are just an unmoving rock and you're in an environment, which I feel like someone can just study up Unreal 5 briefly and put out this game. And then people buy it as a joke. Because it's a joke. But this guy, you know, makes money. It's free. That's what you think. That's what you think. Maybe this one is, but I see a lot of games like that that are not. But it's only like $3. So you're like, oh, it's just $3. I'll just spend a couple dollars on it. It's whatever, right? And then this dude makes great money. And then you go to the grocery store later that day. And you're like, thank God I spent $3 on that rock game. And then you pick up eggs and you're like, what do you mean it's $4.50 for this dozen eggs? And then you're upset. Okay? So I don't want to hear it. I'm not buying these dumb joke games, okay? I'm only buying it if it looks like I might enjoy my time and actually spend my time on it. Because, brother, groceries are so fucking expensive. Holy shit. Holy shit. I've been cooking a lot at home on this break. Cooking a lot at home because I have time to cook and clean everything. Yay. So I've been doing that because I love cooking. It's just, you know, time permitting. My God, the groceries are like, what the fuck? My favorite cut of steak is what? Skirt steak. Uh-oh, that's a more expensive one nowadays. It didn't used to be. It was really not in fashion. And then people were like, they make good tacos. And now they're like $1 billion. I used to be able to get that shit for like nothing. I picked up one pack that was like, it's 0.8 pounds of meat. Skirt steak. And I was like, yeah, that looks nice. Let me check out the price. I look at it. They were like... This shit was like 20 something per pound. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What? What? Crazy. It was like an $18 pack of meat. I did not buy it. For the record. And chicken thighs are going up. I know, dude. Oh, I hate pork chops. They're so dry and shitty. Don't buy them. Oh, they're terrible. If people start finding out about pork chops, I'm going to get real upset, okay? I'm going to get real upset. Holy fuck. Please keep not knowing how to cook pork. Please, it helps me. They're so good. They're so good. Oh, they're so dry and terrible. God, I feel like every cut of meat that I liked, that I figured out how to cook well, that was like a cheaper cut. Some TV chef was like, oh, actually... you can make this really good by doing this thing. And then everyone's like, oh, now I want to buy it. My dude. Yeah, skirt steak used to be like £2 a pound. It was. But then chicken thighs are going up. Fuck, man. Shit. That's my favorite. Okay? The dark meat is the best. Chicken breast sucks. Chicken breast sucks ass. But then also short ribs. That's the one that's made me the most upset. Short ribs. They've been going up past few years. Short ribs used to be not that expensive because you have to sit there, you're paying for some bone and you have to let them sit there and simmer for like 3 hours, 5 hours, you know? They were considered like garbage. Great, because I love the cut. Well, yeah, everyone bought a fucking Instant Pot and, you know, here we are. Here we are, and my short ribs are so expensive now. I don't know. The sales are okay, but Yeah, brisket got really, really, really expensive as well. Oxtail. I don't know. It's just groceries are in a weird spot, man. They're in a weird spot. At least nobody wants to eat capizzelle. Yay. At least no one's buying my whole sheep heads. I know. I know no matter what, no one's gonna eat capizzelle, so I'll be fine. I'll be fine. We'll go back to the old country and we'll eat sheep eyeballs and they'll stay cheap, man. Thank God. Thank God. My God, dude, my God. You know what's gonna happen? Someone's gonna be like, oh, my Nona used to make this sheep head thing. I know it's crazy, but it's really authentic. They're gonna put the word authentic on it, and then there's gonna be some Sicilian restaurant where some old lady makes capizzelle, and then everyone's gonna be like, wow, so authentic. And then the fucking sheep heads are gonna be in the supermarket for $50. Rustic cooking. Babish writer stealing your ideas. I know, they're sitting there. There's a lurker in the chat who's just like furiously writing this down. What? What's it called? Sheep eye superfood. Ugh. Superfoods. You know, I am kind of glad though. The superfoods thing has made some other things less expensive. So everyone was like, oh my God, berries so full of antioxidants. Berries, gotta have berries so full of antioxidants, right? And then berries got expensive, but then other fruits became less popular. You know, nobody likes pears anymore. Thank God. I love pears. I eat pears all the fucking time. Thank God. Everyone's like, ooh, avocados, superfoods. Good. I hate avocados. I hate them. I don't like them. You can get so many fats from them. Yes, so same from like a lot of other things, but I don't fucking care. My olives not that expensive anymore. Not that bad. All right, very oil filled with lipids, you know, so I'm out here eating the olives. I'm chilling. Avocados taste like vegan butter. They're terrible. They're terrible. I hate them. Honeycrisp apples be like $15 per pound. Dude, Honeycrisps are they're so pog. They're just so expensive. But then I'm out here eating, you know, all my standard shit. My normal shit apples. And I like them. I like them. You thank the banana cartels every day for keeping their stuff cheap as long as you don't think about the ethical ramifications. Dude, the thing is, I kind of subscribe more and more over time to there's no ethical anything anymore. I think it's good to try a little bit, but you can never, like, full escape it. Even if you go live off the land on your own, I could argue something about you, you know? So, you know, fuck it. Eat those bananas, okay? Eat those bananas. Honeycrisp where you live were crazy cheap this year? Because so many of them have mature Honeycrisp bearing trees.
Why am I seeing that evil Megan is pregnant? GEEGA, what the fuck,
I wonder. Oh. Now tell me why I'm frozen. There we go. I had to press a button. When pop-ups happen. Older you get, the more cynical you become. I wouldn't even call that cynical. I think that's just realistic. But also you do become more cynical, yeah. Because cynical would be like, I don't think there's any sincerity anymore. No one acts with integrity anymore. I think there are plenty of good people out there. I think people always act in their own interests, which I guess is cynicism, but I don't think that's always a negative. I don't think they're trying to push others down. They're just trying to lift themselves up. I think a lot of things that look bad from one perspective, something that someone does that looks bad, is usually because you're looking from a different perspective. But from their perspective, they're often looking out for themselves and their own, right? And that's just it. I think this is the case for a lot of stupid internet drama that we've been seeing the past month. There are absolutely bad people out there, whatever. But I think in the moment when someone does something bad to someone else, a lot of the time, not always, but a lot of the time in these situations, that person in that moment is not intending to harm. They're not actively harming and relishing in it and whatever. A lot of the time it's just self-preservation or bad communication or not, maybe just completely miscommunication with not understanding a scenario when they go into it. Yeah, I think people attribute a lot to malice nowadays that isn't really like that. Some people are just stupid. Okay, let's be realistic about that too. I think some people are just stupid. They're not self-aware. Right? They lack tact. They'll do something that's not good and people will be like, "Oh my god, they're evil. Kill them," you know? And I'm like, "Well, I think they just were dumb." You know? The best people are capable of being bad at times. The worst people are capable of being good at times. The smartest people are capable of being dumb at times, and the dumbest people are capable of being smart at times. Nothing is black and white, you know? Especially not people of all things, with your brain being what it is. So I just assume when something happens, most of the time I'm like, they were probably stupid. You know? Yeah, most likely. Sometimes they're not. And with more information about a situation, sometimes you're like, okay, this person was like actively doing something crazy. But I don't know. In most scenarios, I like to give benefit of the doubt. You know? Especially a lot of the recent VTuber drama and everything. I'm like, I think these people are just being stupid. Doesn't mean they're actually to their core stupid, not necessarily. Some yes, some no. But they're being stupid in this scenario. And I see everyone giving their 2 cents on every little thing and complaining about people and trying to say, this person's evil, this person's bad. And I'm like, nah, you're all dumb and looking out for your own. Right? You're being dumb. You know? Like, you're usually fine. And then this scenario came up and you did some dumb shit. Whatever. You need to be careful about not calling people dumb, but what they do. I kind of don't care, because I think the average person is dumb, and I think most of us are average. And like I said, even if a person's not dumb at their core, they can be very dumb at a lot of times. It's whatever. It's whatever. I think they need to hear it because they need to, you know, not take themselves so seriously and be a little more realistic about themselves. Everyone does stupid shit, right? Everyone does. For sure. He said, Giga's chat is above average IQ. You have to have at least 500 IQ to get it, dude. Everyone's dumb except us, am I right? Huh. Except us, guys. Chat, you're all so smart. And totally incapable of doing anything dumb. Everyone else, though? Psh. Psh. Yeah, everyone else is dumb and wrong. We're smart and right. All the time. All the time. Don't forget about Dunning-Kruger. More like Dunning-Pooper. Anyway, I want to play a game. I was trying to figure out what to play. Because there's a lot that came out. Can you guys list everything that came out in the past 3 weeks? Like, all relevant games. I want to see if I'm, like, missing anything from my list. Games. Yeah, Battlefield 6. Yeah, Dispatch. Oh, the new Katamari. Yeah. Okay, Ball Pit. Yeah, everyone knows about Ball Pit. All right. God, someone else type Ball Pit. I'm not sure if I saw it. Power Wash Sim 2. Slots and Daggers. Yeah. Ninja Gaiden 4. Have any of you played it? Is it good? It looks good. But I don't know if it feels good, you know? Water Park Sim. That's old news. Duck off. Yep. Pokemon Zaza. Arc Raiders is tomorrow. Very excited, by the way. Very excited. RV game's a fun watch. Yeah, I don't know how replayable it is. Isn't like properly replayable? I haven't played it all yet. I don't know. We're gonna do it tomorrow. We're gonna do it tomorrow. What is Gooner Slay the Spire? Oh, Chaos Zero Nightmare. Ooh. I'm writing that down. You said Gooner Slay the Spire? Hell yeah. I'll write that shit down, dude. Okay, it's on the list. I'll play that off stream. That omelet making game. Oh, there's egg squeeze. Sorry, I don't think that's what you're talking about at all, but have you guys seen egg squeeze? Dude. We might do egg squeeze. Not today, but another day. So thanks for recommend. Might check that out. Yeah, the Gooner Slay the Spire. Path of Exile 1 New League comes out Friday. Ugh. The Seance of Blake Manor, it's great. Well, I have news for you. We actually, that's going to be the second game that we play today. Unless we make it the first one. Maybe we only play that. If it's really good, if you really like it, maybe we start with it and see if we continue it. It's published by Raw Fury, who also published Blueprints. And I, like, meme messaged them a few times. They reached out, and they were like, hey, we've got a new game called The Seance of Blake Manor, and they know that I liked Blueprints a lot, and they were like, this is a murder mystery, maybe not just murder mystery, it's like a little more, and it's very, very mystery oriented the way Blueprints was. And they were like, hey, do you want this? Do you want to play this? And I was like, fuck yeah, I want to play your mystery game, Blueprints people. Not the Blueprints devs, but the publisher, you know, so they pick up similar games. So yeah, I wanted to play that. It's Spoppy. Yeah, it's a Spoppy game. I guess it works for Halloween. We didn't play anything for like almost all of October. You know? So I think it'd be nice. I think it'd be cool. So maybe I was gonna play maybe 2 games today and get to that one later because it is a sponsored segment, which I don't think changes how I feel about the game at all because I kind of wanted to play it anyway. But maybe we play it first and see how we like it. Plenty of new Meat Nightmare games. I can't, man. Hey, comrade. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the bits. Comrade, what have you been playing, huh? What have you been playing? What's on your list? I really want to... I also want to play Dispatch because Dispatch, today they released episodes 3 and 4. But I don't know how long... Like, how long does one episode take? How long is one Dispatch episode, would you say? If anyone has intimate knowledge. Like 40 minutes? That's pretty quick. That is pretty quick. Yeah, Garrick was saying first 2 episodes under 2 hours. Yeah, so they did 3 and 4 today, so now 4 episodes of it are out. So do we have a... Hold on, let me look. Have they said how many episodes they're going to release? November 5th, 5 and 6. November 12th, 7 and 8. Oh, they're doing a weekly release schedule. Ooh, okay. Maybe... Do you guys prefer if I binge it? Do you prefer if I binge it toward the end? So we do it all kind of in one go? Honestly, yeah. I think so too. I think I like, especially for like VOD watchers and stuff, or if you're catching up, let's say you're here for an hour of stream and then you want to watch the rest later. I like it being together as much as possible. Yeah, okay, so maybe we'll hold Dispatch for when the last episodes are almost out, and we'll start playing it like the day or two before. So I'll do that. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I want to hit up, especially, I want to do Slots and Daggers, Ball Pit, and Duck Off. Tomorrow I really want to play Arc Raiders. I also want to try, I don't know if I'll play this on stream, but I want to do Battlefield 6's Battle Royale mode. It actually looks fun. I'm a big Apex liker. Big Apex guy. So, I want to try that at some point, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just throw it on, like, the alt channel or something. Maybe. Yeah, they added a BR mode. So Battlefield 6, I played through the betas of it. Really fun. Feels like the older Battlefields that I actually liked. The recent ones, didn't really like. But the older ones, really good. Feels like that. It's just good Battlefield, which I would like that. I would like that. I don't really care to have it be reinvented. And then they were just like, fuck it. Let's add a BR mode. So I want to see if it's good. It got review bombed. Yeah, I mean, everything, I think anytime a game does something major like that, it gets review bombed. Always. So I've been watching some of my friends that are in esports, that are like professional Apex players, things like this, or have been previously, and I'm seeing what they think. And if they're like, no, I like this though, then I'll be like, okay, let me try it. You know? Okay, let me try it. You find Battle Royales boring? I don't. So I'll be playing it. I understand that there's a bit of downtime here and there, but honestly, I like to multitask. YouTube video on the side, watching the YouTube video. If I feel like there's about to be another team nearby, pause the YouTube video. When I'm just running around looting stuff, keep the video on. Boom, that's what I do. I also play with friends a lot, which I think changes the experience so much. So I'm sitting there talking to them as we're just running around, and we're just having normal conversations. That changes things so much. If you're playing alone and you're solo queuing in Apex, it's a different kind of hell than when you're queuing with friends, okay? So I get what you're saying when you're like, that can be like really boring. But I would say, this is not meant to be a hashtag ad, but unironically, go into the Discord and make friends in the Discord and play in the Discord. Straight up. We have a lot of people in there that just play games like that together, and they have a great time queuing up for 5 hours because there are people to talk to. And sometimes they're playing solo, but there's a VC of 8 people just sitting there watching them, talking to them, because those people are also playing their own shit on the side. Honestly, it's a nice time, so I cannot recommend it enough. It changes your experience playing shit like that, like, massively. Yeah, you could stream Super Metroid in there. You can play any games in there. We have a thing, actually, okay, hashtag ad for my own Discord for a second, because I really like it. If you go to the VCs category, voice channels category, the last one has a plus sign emoji and says create a VC. And if you click on it, instead of getting added to that VC, like you would think when you click on a VC in Discord, it creates a new one just for you and you get added to it. And then later, when everyone's out of that VC, it deletes it. So you can rename it yourself, and you could be like, I'm soloing Apex, and you can make a VC and people can see that and be like, oh, I'll watch that and hop in. So it's actually really nice if you're looking to game. Yeah, so fancy. It's just a bot thing. But it makes it really convenient. So if you want to just like watch something, you can also just watch shit in there and be like, I'm watching TikToks, you know, like you do whatever, but it makes it convenient. I use this in a lot of friend Discords as well. You can use all the standard ones, but if you're doing something really specific and you're like, yeah, you're like marathoning Super Metroid and you just want to sit with like a few people, then you can go in there. Meowsers named himself Apex and made a VC called I'm Soloing Apex, and only him and Oshi are in it. I'm soloing Apex. No, Meowsers, we're on... Dude, we're about to be on Arc Raiders, okay? Tomorrow, this is no longer Apex Cord, this is Arc Cord, okay? Get with it, man. Get it together. Get it freaking together. Apex is so 2024. I still love Apex. I still do. You know what it is, though? I like the community. A lot of the players, I think, have way better vibes than a lot of other, like, FPS communities. Okay? Maybe not all the players, but, like, the esports folks, the creators around it. The vibes are just kind of good around Apex compared to a lot of other FPS, and I really appreciate that. So I have a good time watching the content, watching pro players, all of that. And I think that, honestly, I like the game because I was a huge Titanfall person, and it's, like, the closest I can get. It's Titanfall at home, you know? But, it at least gives me a little bit of that. But outside of liking the game, I like the community a lot, so. Yep. Yep. Why did Arc have to use AI? What did they use AI for, though? There's good and bad. There's good and bad, and we can't get scared by the boogeyman. We can't. Oh, voice acting? Yeah. A lot of games have done this, so here's how I feel about this. I think AI voice acting is super unnecessary in every game. However, when it's a lot of voice lines and a lot of very, like, emotional delivery, high acting, you know, all this stuff, and you're doing big monologues, I care a lot more. When it's a character saying a quip here and there, like, people got really mad at Liar's Bar because he would go, one queen, right? One queen, when he would put down one queen. And people were freaking out over that. And I was like, honestly, I think they should have paid someone, but I kind of also don't give a fuck because it's just him going, one queen. And I'm like, whatever. They should have just recorded it themselves. The dev should have done it. Dev should have done it, honestly. But I'm not going to get as mad at that with, like, those random tiny quips over if it's, like, a story-based game, you know, and then they really get in there. I agree, Cicerock. I agree. I'm not saying that I'm a proponent of it. I'm just saying if they just use it for little quips and things, I'm not going to be like, oh my god, I can't play this game. I'm going to play it, show that I have hours played, and then leave a review being like, hey, I like your game, but I fucking hate this thing. You know? You know what I mean? Because I'm a proponent of, like, that's more likely to change their mind than me not playing it and then shitting on it on Twitter. They're just gonna write me off. You know? Is it highly effective either way? Probably not. But you know, you could try. You could try. The VA gave their permission for them to do it, though. Some people think that makes it better, some people don't. I think that is their prerogative. I mean, that's two consenting parties. And I feel like I can't get in the middle of that and complain a fuck ton. I could give them some quips here and there, but, like, if the voice actor was like, yes, to the studio, yes, you may use my voice for this, and the studio was like, okay, cool, and everyone was consenting, do I still love it? No, but I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I can't play your game. Because it's a way more ethical version of that. It's way more ethical. Is it perfectly ethical? No. But it's better. It at least shows to me that they had some amount of care. Did they still misstep? Probably. Probably. I don't think they understand that a lot of people in the VA industry need those small roles to exist to get somewhere, right? Like, if you're an aspiring VA and you need some sort of tiny role, being able to have these tiny little mini voiced moments in a game might really help you. That could be great. But more so, you know, the bigger problem, in my opinion, the bigger problem is when they use people's voices without asking and then use that in a game. And the fact that they're not doing that and they're asking for consent, whatever, I'm like, okay, that shows they addressed the bigger problem for sure. And they probably feel good about it. And they're like, yeah, we did it. And maybe it's ignorance or just not knowing, right? Kind of same thing, but you get what I mean on the other part of it. Not everyone is going to make a game and have deep, intimate knowledge of the issues of AI voice acting and how it impacts all parts of the VA industry, right? That's for people who read too much on Twitter. So all you can do is say, okay, these people showed some level of care. That means that maybe they can be communicated with. Let's mention that, hey, there's also this other part of it that's negative and see if they are willing to adjust, right? That's what I'm saying, at least. That's what I'm saying. You said not a fan in general, but I think it could be useful for details like player character names where it's impossible to record all the possibilities. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like, there are good uses of these tools, and one of those is that, right? For sure. Having it be able to just read out, like, phonetically, right? What do you think TTS voices are? Is it like, I wouldn't call it AI necessarily, but it's just reading out the sounds as you put them there. Something like that does it a little more nicely and tries to make it sound like a whole word because it's reading a player name. All right. Not bad. Not bad. I'm cool with stuff like that, you know? Again, as long as the person who donated their voice for that donated it and was cool with it. For sure. And hopefully getting paid. But that's their choice. Some more modern TTS voices are neural net driven. 100%, yeah. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I get you, FM. I get you. That's why I'm like, this is also tough because, like, again, with Arc Raiders, if they talk to one VA and they're like, we want to use your voice specifically for this thing, but we want to put it through this model. And that guy's like, okay, all right. That's very different from, like, what you're saying, which I agree is, like, a huge problem, where they just use stuff from, like, one huge repository, and then, yeah, there's all these VAs that were like, I did not want my voice being a part of that. Like, that's usually where it gets really dicey and it gets really shitty and shitified, right? Because the most ethical version of that scenario is the first one, the former, right? Where they're like, I'm just gonna ask this one VA if I can put their voice through this one model and use it. And that person's like, yeah. Okay, that's the best version of that. The worst version of that is what you're saying, right? Where, like, either they completely just use a bunch of voices that those people did not want used, or the repository has a bunch of stuff in it that was not consented to. Then that's, like, kind of shit. That's kind of shit. You know? I agree. Most ethical way of them all is just hire a human. Yeah, I agree. I'm talking about this in a let's examine all sides kind of way. I'm not talking about this in a I think I want to prop up AI kind of way or anything like that, you know? I'm talking about the spectrum of good and bad, for sure, because I feel like it's definitely a big spectrum of it and not just a black and white issue. There's definitely, like, more and less bad, and there's, like, nuanced bad in all this. I find it weird how they say they use AI because it's cheaper, but what I heard is VAs hardly get paid anything anyway. Yeah, it's still dirt cheap. VAs, I think it's, I don't know. There are some that can get paid an okay amount. There's some that can get paid very little. A lot of the time, they do have to shell out a good amount of money for it because the company that wants to hire a VA doesn't usually just directly put out a thing and a VA sends in lines and they're like, okay, and they pay them direct. Usually they use an agency, some sort of company, some sort of client that will then find them VAs, and usually they're like 2 or 3 middlemen taking a cut before it gets down to the actual voice actor, because those people all work through agencies typically. So if you put out a budget of $500 and you're like, I'm a dev and I'm my studio, you know, I'm gonna pay $500. Those middlemen take a cut, and then by the time it gets to the VA, that VA is making like $100 for that thing. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of weird shit with the money in that industry as well. It's like this in entertainment. It's like this with streamers. When a lot of us take game sponsors, If a publisher directly reaches out, like the one I'm taking today, Raw Fury, directly reached out, they're just paying me. Hooray, hooray. But a lot of game sponsorships, those publishers go to a marketing company and are like, hey, can you find us, here's a big lump sum budget for our marketing budget for streamers. Can you find us a bunch of streamers to play this game? And then they go, okay. And then they reach out to their network of other agencies. And then those agencies either reach out to other agencies or they reach out to, creators. And we get paid an amount that often has had several hands dipped into it first before it gets to us, So a company might be like, I'm going to pay someone $2,000 to play this game for 2 hours, which sounds great. But then by the time it gets to you, it's like half that, or maybe less. Depends on the person, depends on the rates, depends on how many middlemen there are. But yeah, this is the case with voice acting. This is the case with sponsorships for streaming. This is the case with pretty much every business has some amount of this, especially when people are self-employed. So yeah, everyone takes a piece of the pie before it actually gets to you, which stinks. It stinks. So I wonder if the person who donated their voice to be put through a model for our creators, I wonder if they're getting paid direct for it, and I wonder if they're actually going to make more doing that than if they just recorded the lines. I'm really curious about that. I'm so curious. I don't know. They probably won't release the numbers, but Yeah, Blazing, you said on the middleman thing, all these companies making apps to, and I quote, cut out the middleman, but then those apps take a fatter cut than ever, and they're still somehow losing money. What the hell's going on? I see this so much in tech, Blazing. There are a lot of tech companies that show up. It's these startups, and they're not like in these industries. They just have a little interest in it. And then some guy's like, what if I make this thing to cut out the middleman? And they do it. I'd say there's a portion of them that are really good and actually do that. And then a fuck ton of them that, yeah, they're doing exactly what you say, where they take like a fat cut. And they're like, well, you're paying for convenience. Some of them really are and are great. Others, not at all. Not at all. I think like VGen's a good example where it is good efficiency. It is a tool that we didn't really have a good version of. We kind of did, but a lot of them were in other languages, etc., or defunct. So they added themselves in as a middleman in a spot where it was needed. It was needed for communication. They're holding your money in escrow, etc., right? Like it's really good. So that's an example of one where I'm like, okay, not bad. But yeah, that's what I was going to say, Oshi. I was going to bring it up. Fiverr already existed and was doing all of that. And there are more people on it. And there are issues here and there with Fiverr, but I think a lot of it comes from people wanting it to have features that it was never setting out to have. I've used Fiverr for a lot of things and had good experiences. The difference is VGen has their system where you like vet people, whereas Fiverr is a lot easier for any artist to kind of sign up. So you do have to sift through reviews a little more, but it's more open. More people are on it. With VGen, it's very restrictive. If you want to be an artist on there, you have to get a recommendation, and there's this whole system, and it's convoluted. It takes a lot of time to get there, and a lot of really good artists just end up never getting there. So, I don't know. Close yours today because the messages you got were scams. Who's like accepting messages on Fiverr though as like a client? I don't know. I've never used it that way. But that's just me. I just think there were already things like this, and VGen just hit a specific market at the right time. Hi, Nucky. Wow. He came crashing in here. I don't know if you heard him. Oh. Tell him, Nuck. Nucky. He's going crazy. He's going crazy. Anyway, when you think of some sort of tool that has a middleman thing, there's usually already an existing one. The difference is it a good one? Does it do a function that you actually care about? And how much of the pie do they take? Anyway. Maybe we should just go into The Seance of Blake Manor. Do you think I should? There's a few people who were saying that they like it. I like that the I like that the style, the art style of it kind of looks like an American comic. And it almost reminds me of Archer. If you've watched Archer. You know what I'm talking about? You ever watch Archer? It's just that, but more like spooky. It doesn't look exactly like Archer. It's just it reminds me a little bit of it, but then more spoopy, spoppy, as someone said earlier. It kind of makes me think of that. It's more dark, for sure, but Lucky, speak. Oh my god, why is it when I ask you, you don't do it? I want you to hear him sound like a freak, though. Yeah, he's got huge zoomies. Look. Every time I ask him to speak, he keeps, like, he starts licking himself, and he stops. Oh, now he's licking. Lucky, oh. As soon as I turned to him, he started licking again. Is he doing this on purpose? Are you? Nook? Are you doing this on purpose? He's doing it on purpose. This is the third time. I turned to him, and he just started licking his side because he knows I'm about to ask him something. What the hell? Lucky. Speak. Oh, he did it again. As I was halfway through me saying speak, I went sp. As soon as the p sound happened, he just turned around and was like, what's on my side here? My God. He's a manipulator. He is. Well, cats, I think, are just wired to do that completely. Ooh. That was a good one, Nucky. Nuck, speak. That was small. I don't know if they heard that. Ooh. Hear all that? Did you hear those feet? I don't know if you could hear him crashing around. Bro went crazy. Bro went crazy. He eating? No, I fed him a while ago. Also, we got someone in chat who just said, "I'm letting you know you about be in top 4 in on Twitch." Dude. We have the seer in chat right now. We have the seer. You're right. You're right. I'm letting me know I'm about to top 4 in on Twitch, dude. Type shit. He just gazed to the Palantir. My God. Dude, you're right. Yeah, type shit, 6'7", I don't know, what do they say now? What do they say now? I'm about to blow up and act like I don't know nobody. Type shit. We need a type shit emote. Do we? Is there a good one? Let me see. Only if it's a good one. Dude, I don't see a solid type shit emote, but I see a million shit emotes. There's a million of them that just say shit. No, but I wanted to search for type shit. Lots of poop emotes. Lots of poop. Okay. Okay. What if I search for type shit with no space? Okay, hold on. Now we're getting somewhere. They're loading. Ooh, we're getting somewhere. Oh, there are options. There are options. There's one that I really like. Okay, I'll show you the contenders first. I'll show you some of the contenders. This one is not bad. This one's not bad. All right. Not too bad. There are ones that are just text. Okay, hold on, but there's one. There's one that's a GIF that I really like. I can't show a GIF on the screen the right way I want to. Fuck, I'm just gonna add this one. I'm gonna add this other one. And you tell me if you like it. Okay, use it in chat. And tell me if you like that one. Look at that. Look at that. With the dollars. With the dollars. Yeah, that fucks. I kind of like that one. Type shit. It's not really used in a lot of chats either, so it feels like it's, you know, it's ours, dude. That's ours. Can't even tell what it looks like? Exactly. It's just all fucked. With the business puppy. I do like it, so we're gonna let this one cook for a bit. We're gonna let this cook. Alright? And we'll see. You're on mobile? Hey. Mobile! Haha! Haha! Take that. Mobile. Whatever. Whatever. Yeah, get 'em, boys. Rattle 'em, boys. Okay. Now the question is, do I play a game, check out something for a short bit, and then do our spooky game? Or do we go straight into the spooky game and just play it for longer? What do you want? Okay, okay. People saying spoopy. Long spoop? Long spoop? Was the flavor? Murder mystery, but maybe more than a murder mystery. Play Mario! It's published by the same people that published Blueprints for the idea of potential flavor. Not gonna play the same. Not the same dev. But the same publisher. Tasteful spookiness. Go for it? Okay. It is sponsored. Don't tell the publisher. They're paying me to play this. I was gonna play it anyway. It was already on my list. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. It's just a matter of whether I was going to play it on stream or not. Got him. Got him. Don't tell them. But there was a showcase for it on the Next Fest, and there was a demo, and I watched like one of my friends play the demo, and I was like wait, this kind of looks up my alley. Like, this is my shit. I kind of want to get into that. But don't tell them. Yeah, it's Blake Manor.
XDD only a matter of time until someone snitch.
No snitches. No snitches get shot in this chat, okay? Snitches don't live long. If I see you snitching, you're dead. You're dead. Dunzo. Okay. Wait, I have to show you my thing that I set up. I set it up specifically for spooky games. You're gonna love
Welcome
it.
to the Spook Deli.
Yeah, it's the Spook Deli. Okay, hold on, hold on. Dude. Check this out. You're gonna love this. Ready? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? We're in Queso's house. We're in Queso's house. Spot the difference, dude. Brother. Spot the difference. Where's the blue hoodie? I'm wearing blue. I'm wearing blue. It does need the blue. I'm gonna turn on the lighting. I'm gonna turn on the light. Guys, I don't have a hoodie, okay? I'm broke. I'm broke. I went to the grocery store and I tried to buy meat and I looked at the price of my favorite skirt steak and that shit was like $25 a pound, okay? So no, I don't have a hoodie. But I do have, we can turn on the bisexual lighting. We can do that. We could turn on the bisexual lighting. But the hoodie? What do you think this is? What do you think this is? Okay. The what? What did she say? She's so crazy. She's so crazy. Okay, I'm opening the game. Ooh, wait, hold on. BGM off. Listen to the little clicky sounds when I hover menu options. Ready? Oh, that sounds nice. I like that. I like that. You said, I work in the meat department. $16 a pound for carne asada. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. Yeah, skirt steak, not possible in this economy, dude. The Seance of Blake Manor. Hold on, I'll share the screen in a sec. It collects gameplay and hardware data to help us improve the game experience. Do not take my data. Okay. Hold on. Squirt. Okay. I gotta change the category. Seance of Blake Manor. This is a smaller, I wouldn't say tiny indie game, but it's like not the most popular immediate release. It's like I'd say it kind of the way the Blueprints was, where like initially didn't really like have people knowing about it, and then they played it and then streamers were like, wait, this game's good, and now everyone knows what Blueprints is. Seance of Blake Manor's in the same spot right now where like, you know, just released, people don't quite know. So we're about to hit this category with a fat channel. We're about to hit the category like crazy. Type shit. I think, what should our, oh man, what should our title be? This demo fucked. I know! A lot of my friends played the demo and it looked really good. Really good. Losing my mind. Wait, I gotta make it look like a queso stream. There we go. Okay, and then I'm turning on a little thingy every 15 minutes. It'll drop the link in the chat. Game's 10% off right now if you want it. It is indeed. Okay. So if you want the game, exclamation point, Seance. S-E-A-N-C-E. If you want it. And that's my link. You bought it yesterday? Well, refund it and buy it again with my link. Now, or you're not a real fan. Hey, Nucky. I don't know how he does this. He can tell when I'm about to play a game because he jumps on my desk the moment I'm about to. Lucky, how did you know? How did you know? I'm trying to figure out what behavior I have that, like, he detects where he's like, oh, she's locking in. It's time to get on her desk and bother her. I don't know how he... Who told you? Okay, and then I need to... Wait, I have a banger tweet. It's not really that special, but it's a banger tweet that I need to post. Copy image. Performing a seance. Wait, do you think Twitter's gonna be like, we have to mute this crazy woman? I don't care. Performing a seance live on the air. You cannot escape me. And then we'll put the link in the replies. There we go. The seance of Blake Manor is now. Okay, if someone didn't know that this was a game, they'd be like, what is she saying? Okay. Tweet made, thing is on. Is there anything else I want to mention to you about this game before I start? Let me double check. Did I write anything?